We're just going to go for it, Pip. We're on. Let's do it. I've got my coffee. Good. Got yours?
Yeah, I've got everything I need. I'm rocking and rolling. Hello, everyone. It's Pip and James again, and this time I thought we ought to get ourselves together and have a chat because we're getting closer to that month which I hate the most, my least favourite month of the year. And I know bar humbug and everything, but I don't like December. And my birthday's in December as well, which is insane. But I get a little bit stressed at about this time of year.
Do you not actually enjoy Christmas then?
I used to love it as a kid. Absolutely love it. But as the years have rolled by and having had kids, the stress of being a mum or a parent and having to provide everything and the more stress you feel, I guess the enjoyment's got less and less for me.
Fair point.
How about you? Men don't have the same stress.
I still enjoy Christmas. It's just I miss the Christmases I used to have with grandparents.
I know.
Everybody came together and I do really miss that. But I'm an only child.
So there's less people, and that's it. So when you're an only child, you do really want those people around you.
What do you do? I used to get Guess Who, Connect 4, Operation, Game of Life.
But yeah.
Who am I going to play them with?
Oh, no.
Nobody.
Wasn't there a neighbour that had kids? Didn't you ever?
Not on Christmas Day. I mean, out of love for me, my mum would play a few games, and then they'd go in the cupboard. Somebody would come round. I'd go, Connect 4, anyone?
Oh, don't! You're going to have me crying. I've got a little tear in my eye.
That's good, but you've got a big family, haven't you?
I'm one of 4 children, and so actually I've grown up with this kind of desperate need for my own space, and it's still with me now. If someone's bothering me too much, I'm like, listen, do you know what? I want a bit of space. Like, for example, if you ring me. Just kidding. But it is like that. I do sometimes need to say, actually, I'm just on my own today. And I like being on my own. I like it.
So you've grown up, you've not had that, have you?
No, I'm one of 4 kids. And so on Christmas Day, I'm not joking, absolute bun fight in the morning, running down, everyone's just grabbing their stuff into their corner, rip it all open, Kermit the Frog, Miss
First thing in the morning?
First thing. And then the rest of the day you're surrounded by crap all over the floor.
Yeah.
And you're just playing with your toys. And me and my little brother would pair off and we would just play games and muck about.
My nan's rules up until about the age of when I was 14, 1 present in the morning.
Right.
And then everybody sits in a circle at 4 o'clock after dinner to open their Christmas presents. Can you imagine how frustrating and impatient that was? And that was every year.
That's really painful. Why would you inflict that? I don't understand.
I don't know.
See, okay, I know a lot of people that do that, actually. I'm not going to be judgmental because there's obviously thought behind that. Let's all appreciate
some kind of tradition. But she would always go, think of everyone without gifts. Think of she would, and she would say, think of the starving people in Africa. And then
have to today?
My uncle would come out with, send them a fucking sausage then, and just come out with things like that.
Oh, funny. I mean, look, I get it.
I miss that. I do miss
Christmas
that.
Isn't just about. It shouldn't be so material. And this brings us back to why I'm annoyed by it in the first place. It's too material. And I get fed up with it. The pressure that you put on each other to get presents and all the rest of it.
Expectations of presents for children now. Our children are roughly the same age. I mean, they're not sort of happy with a multiple sweet stocking now.
No, but the thing you notice is, right, they want all these big things like iPads or whatever, but they expect all the crappy detritus and the crap that you get as well, like in the stocking, all the little things like the games, like you say, Yahtzee or whatever. They still expect to get all that. So the pressure's really on. You find yourself constantly going, have I got enough for so-and-so? Or maybe I need to get one more little thing. Yeah,
and another wrapper, another opener.
Yeah, and it's a waste. And no. I don't know what I think. And then more and more people are like, I've got all my shopping done. And there's a certain smugness about people that have got all their shopping done and wrapped up by the end of fucking November. Like my mum. I've done it. What have you done, Mum? What do you mean? Christmas shopping. My mum, it's November. What do you mean you've done it?
No.
Who does it?
No. Christmas Eve.
Oh,
yeah.
Christmas Eve.
And then the last depressing sign and sight of Christmas is seeing the dead tree the second week in January in the garden.
Oh, you're so over the tree by to be honest with you, right? And this is another one. By about the day after Boxing, let's say, I'm ready. I'm done with it. I'm like, it's drooping. It's brown.
Yeah, they need to come down.
They have to, but I can't. I leave it to 12th night because I'm an idiot. Because I believe in all that rubbish. 12th night.
No.
If you do it before or after, it's bad luck.
Yes, that's it. It's a superstition then. Mm-hmm. There's like an OCD element in there. Are we going to come on to OCD with this or not?
I don't know if it's OCD. No, I don't. I think because anyone with OCD wouldn't have a fucking tree in their house, right?
Superstition then, I suppose. Superstition could lead to that, I suppose.
Yeah, but a wanting to go with all the traditions. I really do. And I'm very old-fashioned and I go with it. And I like all that. But I don't know, I'm a slave to it. I moan about it a lot. I think I just like moaning.
Costs a lot of money.
Costs a lot of money. Those trees, I like a real tree. I don't like a fake one. So that's even worse. So every year you're spending 20 quid on a tree or more. Some people spend 50 quid or something.
I've got a fake one I've had for about 15 years that I bought from Woolies.
Oh, do you know, I watched the other day, an old advert came up on, Facebook, of an old Woolies advert from the 70s or the 80s or something. It was hilarious. The stuff you could get in there. Bon Tempe organs, flipping chess sets, handbags, men's knits, massive men's knitwear.
Men's occasional knits.
Because men don't buy clothes, they just buy knitwear. No. And massive tins of Quality Street that like 2 kilos, like massive, for $4.99. The same you spend now to get about 50 of them in a plastic tub.
Yeah, Argos have just released online their historical catalogue.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking at last week. It was like old Sony Walkmans, and the entry level one I think was $29.99. I bought that with a little 3-switch graphic equaliser on it.
Wow, cool!
And I wore it with pride on my belt.
I bet you did. Did you even know though what the graphic equaliser was really doing?
No, I pretended that I knew the settings, but
just tweak that little bit.
Luther Vandross riding the BMX.
Never too much, never too much.
Yeah, but. Beard trimmers, little mini chess sets, as you said, and games that were all just. Of that. And then I think that wasn't the Never Never, was it, the Argos, but the Littlewoods or.
Oh, that's right.
Everyone would just run up all these debts and then pay £5 a week until the following November.
At least with Woolies, you could go in there and it was all pretty affordable, like bags of broken biscuits and there was the record department, which I really liked as well.
Record department, I remember.
It was good.
I do. I remember that because you could go and listen. There's a couple of decks in Woking. You could go and listen. And Bartlett's. In Woking.
Oh, I don't remember Bartlett's.
It was a record store downstairs, and you ordered the records, and 3 weeks later it would turn up.
I thought that was Smith's.
No, but bus stop. By the bus stop, Bartlett's.
Which bus stop?
Woking.
You mean the main bus stop?
Yes.
Do you mean opposite the bus stop? Wasn't that Richard Sounds?
Way before Richard Sounds were about. Bartlett's. And the little toy shops. I remember walking around Woking and just getting into the Christmas spirit for that.
Mm-hmm. Me too. There used to be lots of little shops and stuff, and you could go and get everything you needed. And it's a shame, but thing is, I'm kind of glad I can do it all online because I am quite lazy now and I dread it. So I just sit there and I go bop 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 and get this, that, and that, and that's sorted, But then you're waiting on the deliveries and you're thinking, oh, they're not going to come.
That is incredible. That is a sign of the times, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ordering Amazon bits and pieces coming through the next day.
Yep, certainly is. What was your favourite toy that you ever got? Because most of the toys that we got back in the day, in our day when we were kids, were based around TV shows and stuff, weren't they?
Yeah, mine was Tin Can Alley, endorsed by Chuck Connors on the front of the box. And
Who was he?
Some American actor, or some Western actor, but it was a light gun and it shot a beam of light into a target, and then if you hit the target, it flicked the cans up.
It really was like a real tin can alley.
It was.
I loved that. I wanted that too.
It was. I used to build like a camp from behind the sofa.
Yep.
So I was shooting over.
Nice.
That was brilliant. Love that. It didn't last long. I broke it. I think I took it apart for just some weird reason and then couldn't put it back
together again.
Which I did with all of them.
With the
Corby Trouser Fest.
That's it. But that's what I did with my brother got Scalextrics one year, right? He was so happy, so happy. And we were playing Scalextrics for most of the day in the hall, and it was going round and round. And I think it might have been a couple of days after Christmas Day, and I walked into his bedroom. I didn't know he'd got it all set up. And I've walked in, and I've trodden on a piece, and it snapped. And I'm not joking, you couldn't really do anything. After that, it was kind of ruined. Because it wouldn't work.
Well, you couldn't go and get a replacement
I think they
anywhere straight away, could you, though?
No.
Nothing's open like it is now.
No,
you could have had a spare part droned in the same day.
You would now. Oh my God, the meltdowns you can avoid now because you're like, don't worry, I'll just go do, and there it comes. Sometimes the same day. But back then he had to wait a few weeks.
Yeah.
And he was really angry.
And you remember that euphoria when you first opened something you really wanted, and it was like,
I know. I wanted Kermit the Frog so badly, and I got Kermit, and then I got Miss Piggy, and my life was complete for quite a while.
What puppets that you put your hand in?
They were the bendy dolls. Kermit was just, I mean, you ask anyone of our age, all of my friends, they all had a Kermit.
Was the Kermit like a hardened foam?
Hard. It was had his a hard mouth.
I remember.
And
a
soft
them.
body and long floppy legs.
I do remember.
And Miss Piggy was bendy and foamy. And you could bend her legs and everything. I used to bend her legs and arms all over. And I used to wrap her around Kermit like she was hugging me.
Yeah, I'm wondering sort of when the satisfaction ends with a doll, like an Action Man. I remember thinking, well, actually now, I've dressed it up, I've stuck it in a tree. I'm a bit bored.
I'm a bit bored now. This is where you have to get scenarios and you have to put them into sort of, you need someone to play with. And this goes back to the fact that you were basically a lonely child.
I was a lonely child. Role playing didn't really help with me.
No.
I role play an imaginary friend.
That's why you do so much of it now.
I do. I think
I
have, and I'm in sales. I think that's probably why. Because I like attention.
You do. You like seeing people and being around people and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get the heebie-jeebies when you're on your own?
I'm a lot more comfortable with my own company now.
Good. I'm not very comfortable in your company, but not many people are, I've heard.
I like it now. But yeah, I used to avoid it. I used to try and be around people all the time. But I think you just get to that point, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You like it. You crave it. I think it's because the added pressure and stress and stuff, which you get.
Lack of family. I now have two children, and they're always bickering and arguing. And I always say to them,
Shut up.
If you were an only child, you'd have been even more. But no, I wouldn't. You would.
They would. They love each other really, and when they get older, they'll look forward to seeing each other at Christmas and have their own traditions. And when you'll be an old fart sitting there going,
an old fart now.
Can I have another cup of tea?
Yeah, and a wee.
And a wee. Someone take me to the toilet.
Yeah. Oh, sherry this evening. One.
Oh, a bit of fruitcake. Not too much, mind.
Dear.
Just a sliver. Oh,
see, I'm not looking forward to that.
Not wanting to eat your lunch, really, just eating, you'll lose all of the...
Just old age, taste buds start to deteriorate, and I'll become slightly mad. I think that would be the best thing.
Maybe you should just embrace that, because when you're old, you're allowed to be rude and offensive and mad and say what you like.
Maybe we'll be able to take advantage of the medicinal herbs that will be legalised by them.
Yeah, it is. It's coming that way, isn't it?
Another special brownie, dear, for this afternoon.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
that's good. It's a good part about getting old.
That
surely
could get us through Christmas. Well, that's maybe going to help me sooner than maybe I should just develop some sort of problem that requires medicinal cannabis.
Yeah,
to sail through Christmas.
Well, like psychosis.
Yeah.
I think you qualify.
Yeah, do I?
I think you do.
I think I might do, I think as I'm getting older, I'm needing to rant more. And forgive me if I'm going overboard. Tell me to stop ranting if you like. It won't work, but I do find I get annoyed very, very easily now about people. They do annoy me, the little things they do. I can't even hide it anymore. I used to be really tolerant, and now I just look at people. If I'm in the supermarket and I'm just walking along, getting the shopping, and someone's like behind me going... let me think for a good example. Old people who, like old men that whistle, they're whistling a tune, but it's not just they're going...
Does
really
that irritate you?
Warbling tune. Yes. It's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't come in here to get that. I came in here just to buy some stuff. Or someone who's walking along humming, and I can't work out what he's humming. He's just humming along to himself.
Yeah, excuse me. It's queues with old people with me.
Queues,
if you get to the queue and then suddenly you get to the cashier and everything's been scanned, and then suddenly they then go to get
their purse out
like it's an unexpected event that they weren't planning, and it's like, and I'm standing there. You
hang on
you need to pay. I'm there. And sometimes I've got the money in my hand. Sometimes it's only a few items. I've got the correct money.
You're so good.
Just don't like the queuing.
No, I hate that. I hate it when you're standing there with the old person, right, who's not ready to pay, and she's just having a little conversation with you. You're a complete stranger to her, right? And she's just laughing away, having a chat with you, which is all very nice, but it's like, actually, shut up.
Actually, no. to be fair, I do that. I will have a full-on conversation with complete strangers. I don't mind that.
I know you do. I don't mind. But if they're
every
laughing
now and then,
at their own joke, if they're going, and I'm like...
Yeah, that's fair enough. But then every now and then I'll then get attached to a weirdo. That's the issue. I think
this goes back again to your traumatised childhood of the lack of contact with human beings.
Yeah.
You just need to...
I said earlier on, we've not got this part recorded, but friends would come round and I'd sort of tell them to stay a little bit longer. I'd lock them in the gates. I didn't want them to go.
And they'd be like, let me out!
Yeah. But then they had brothers and sisters to go back to, and I literally had a game of Connect 4 and just a pile of yellow counters.
And the memories, you'd just be left there kind of thinking, but what do I do now?
I think I actually tried to work out and play strategies on Connect 4 by playing both counters and just turning the game round.
Ooh.
That's a bit...
You're a little bit... Ooh.
I suppose you've got to do something with your time, haven't you?
You'd have been good at that game. Do you remember that game? I think it was Mastermind, and all it was a bunch of coloured pegs, and you had your selection of pegs hidden.
Yes, I remember that. I never knew how to play it, but I remember it.
One person hides about 5 different coloured pegs, and your job is to guess the sequence that you've got the pegs in, and it's hidden behind a little thing, and you've got all these holes in front of you, and you've got to have lots of guesses in front of you.
I had the Council House version in Battleships, because that's what that sounds like.
No, that's strategy as well. You're guessing the next person's move or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you're guessing a code. It's your code breaking, really.
Your code, yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. Crossfire had as well, where you fired the barbarians. Yeah. Again, single player mode.
Ball bearings.
Thank you. Would have probably got away with that.
Yeah. No, yeah. You're right. See, I'm not tolerant at the moment. I'm losing my tolerance.
That's
for anything. Good. Anything at all. Like if someone sends me a text and the grammar's wrong, I'm like,
no shit, Sherlock.
I'm on it like a.
I was disheartened with myself when I realised instantly when it sent that it was your and not you are.
Were you really? Oh no! You see, then that makes me feel bad because now you're thinking.
Then you sent the text back going grammar. And I'm like, right, okay.
I can't help myself. It's a pet peeve. But then people think, well, don't be such a twat because...
No, that's fair enough because that is irritating. And I did leave school rather early, so I should have known those. And I've had to learn those later in life.
How much early? An hour early?
It's 2 years early.
Oh, no.
But I got into college. I did get into college.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no, it's not that. Do you know what? It's nothing to do with either intelligence or your education. It's just a bad habit that people get into. That's all it is. Because my best mate does it too, and I don't tell her off because I've given up. She always says she gets the "you're" around the wrong way.
Oh right, so you correct me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if I correct her, she'll tell me where to go.
Right. Fair point.
But you're much nicer than her.
Fair point. At the moment.
But I know you won't tolerate it for much longer.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, but that's a fair point. Grammar is basic, and we should all know that.
But it is a gradual breaking down of the need for stuff like that that's creeping in. So, and it's because of social media. People don't have time to be correct. They don't need. They think, well, it's sort of shorthand anyway, so actually it's fine. But what happens is once you start doing that, the acceptance moves in, and people accept it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it right, and then you don't learn what's right.
You don't learn what's right.
You don't pass down what's right.
No.
And then before you know it, they're like, oh bloody hell.
You don't record the correct. If you grammatically correct yourself on the computer with thesaurus. And spell check.
Yeah.
You don't. You go. Yeah, that looks right. But you don't record the correct bit, do you? So then, when you come to write a handwritten letter, which I've done on a few occasions, I realise that I'm actually writing like a 9-year-old.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you are correct. That's the thing, and that's what's happening to young people now. They're being corrected all the time, and they now can't live without it. It's like Google Maps. You can't live without that.
Fair point.
But we learnt to read maps.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't very good at it.
Nor was I.
I was shit. But you have a sense of direction.
You do.
Because of it.
Do you now with sat-nav? No, I don't.
No, it's awful.
I haven't got a clue. I always have to zoom out to see where I am in the county. I don't know.
And you drive everywhere.
I know. I still haven't got a clue from point to point.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
You don't actually. I know. I've seen you in action actually. You do seem a little bit lost.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
You zoom out on the map.
Yeah.
If you zoom out, you go, oh, right, there's Brighton. There's London. Oh, this
There's
is where
Brighton.
I am.
Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm in Kingston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I'm not where I should be.
The directions with me, I don't know how it is with you, but if I need to go to a certain point, that's fine. It's fine. I'm going somewhere in London.
Yeah.
That's fine. If I go to somewhere in London and then I have to go somewhere else,
after that,
that's where the issue is.
Me too.
Because I'm going from a not familiar point of start.
Exactly. But then when you have to go home after you've been to said place in London, do you fix it so that you have directions to get home, or do you say, oh, I'm all right now? What makes you think, because I always fall for this, I think, oh, I found my way there, I'm all right, I'll get home.
Yeah.
You get lost even trying to go home.
I do, yeah.
So you need to put it back in again.
I always put home in, always, even if I know the journey. I kid myself that it's, Traffic Master might kick in and give me another direction back if there's traffic, but it's not. It's because then you can just switch off, which you do.
Yeah.
You then become this robot driving home.
Yeah,
because you don't need to concentrate, really.
That's what we're all becoming, really. And we are becoming really reliant on the tech, and we're not going to be able to write anything anymore. And also, the spelling, it's all American anyway. So every time you write something, like colour, they want to spell it the American way. So when you're texting someone or emailing them, they want you to write it without the OU.
Yeah.
And we're hanging on to it, or I'm trying to. Is anyone else? Are you?
Well, it corrects you.
It corrects me. So what am I going to do? I have to override it every time.
Maybe it'll phase over time and change.
I don't think they're going to let us. I think they're going to force us to stop using the French spellings that we've always used.
And the Latin variants.
And all of that. But, I've got to stop being so intolerant. It is an age thing.
It's nice to get it off the chest, though, isn't it?
I feel better for doing that.
We have been quite whingy, to be fair.
Well, you don't whinge. I'm the whinger around here, I think. You know?
Well, I whinged about my childhood.
That wasn't
but
really whinging.
Overall, Christmas, I love Christmas. But
I like it. In the end.
It's not what it used to be, is it?
It's not. But then maybe it's down to us to start making our own traditions, and then, and carry that forward.
As we've discussed before, I think our children are much more advanced than we were at that age. Because the Christmas isn't as magical to my children as it was when I was their age now.
No.
Of course, they like the obvious material side, but...
What about when you have to sit down and all have the Christmas lunch? Are they into it?
Not really.
No. Because, let's face it, we don't really do that often, do we?
No.
We don't all get round a table and... We don't. We all lead busy lives.
No, and I used to want to leave early, my nans, to go and do something on Christmas night somewhere. And obviously now you'd give your right arm to go back to that and stay.
You would. I know. It's so true. But...
We're going to have a little tear in a minute.
You've got me feeling really sorry for you, little orphan Annie over there.
Oh, you? Oh, brilliant. That's quite good. Maybe you need to introduce that into my sales pitch for working, try and get customers, potential customers crying.
No, not a pity sale. You don't want that. That's not what you want.
Hello, I'd like to sell you something. You know, I was an only child and I really miss Christmas for my grandparents who are no longer with us.
They're like, maybe have some violinist in the background with you as well.
Yeah, or some sort of soundtrack playing out somewhere.
A really sad one.
Yeah.
Well, I won't give a shit about you at Christmas. And no one will.
Fair point.
I will.
It's too long a period of holiday. Unless I was in a mountaintop chalet in the Alps with a log fire going and snowboard at the door, ready you could go and do something every day.
Yeah.
But sitting at home, you don't want to do DIY.
No, what? Who does that at Christmas?
I end up doing a bit of DIY. I end up doing trips to the dump, but the last time I did...
I spend a lot of time having a dump. I'm not going anywhere near the dump.
The last time I did the trips to the dump, I ended up coming back with stuff because people were throwing away oak beams, so then I turn up at the house with more stuff.
I bet you were popular.
Yeah. Nightmare.
No, I know what you mean. You do actually do DIY at Christmas because you're putting together toys or things or arranging or stuff that you've got to do because no one else is going to do it. It's down to you to either find batteries for everything.
Batteries.
And then you've got to take all the plastic off these toys that kids get now.
Yeah.
All of that. So much plastic.
Yeah, put them together.
Put it all together for them. Get it all ready. And meanwhile, you're dying of thirst because you've not drunk or eaten a fucking thing since you woke up. No one gives a shit about you. I always make sure, right, when we get up, that first thing I do, I say to people, look, everybody go and open, whatever, go for it. I'm going to go and get a cup of tea, some juice. I'm going to bring a load of croissants in, and we're going to eat while we open presents. Otherwise, I'll faint or I'll commit murder.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah, you need to. Well, if you're running the house as well, you're entertaining everybody, but it's your Christmas as well.
Yeah, I know. You got to remember that. I think this year I might just not do anything for anyone and just have my Christmas.
Yeah, just sit on the sofa and watch telly all day with a huge bumper edition of Twiglets.
Don't like Twiglets.
Do you not?
No, not really.
They stain your fingers.
They stink.
They do. But I like them. I like them. They're very Moorish.
They are. I know what you mean. They're a little bit.
What about the cheeselet squares? You still do them?
They're not bad. That's a very Christmassy thing.
Yeah, and well, actually, a really Christmassy thing. My nan used to buy the jellied lemon and oranges.
Now stop. I know the kind.
And you could slap it on your tongue after you'd sucked all the sugar off it for ages.
Orchard fruits, I think they were called. Something like that. I used to love those.
Yeah, I did.
Those jellies.
Yeah. They were like
sugary jelly sweets.
Like a plate packet, weren't they?
Yes, laid out like a kind of in a sort of spectrum.
That's right, yeah, fanned out. With a single circular one in the middle.
Oh, and everyone would be like, "Oh, shall I take it? Shall I take it? Shall I leave it? Who's?" I think there was something like Suchard or Roundtree.
Suchard, you say. Suchard, you say.
And the minty chocolates you used to get as well. The round ones that were like lovely gold coins. They were like, and they were crunchy, kind of minty dark chocolate.
What were they? Matchsticks.
Oh, matchsticks. Oh, you can still get them, but I'm talking about
matchsticks.
Like quite a posh dark chocolate sort of round gold thing, mint. It's very nice.
I don't remember
those. They were quite nice. They were like a proper bow after dinner mint. None of your
proper
after
bow.
8, not a after 8 or anything like. It's like maybe that was the Suchard thing I'm going on about. Probably.
Yeah.
Very nice. But Mum and Dad used to have all of this stuff sitting on the G-Plan in the lounge. So you'd go in and we had this big sort of brown G-Plan unit and there'd be all the chocolates sort of there.
Was that on wheels as well? Could that be ferried about?
No. It was very much static. It was bookshelves and it had the hi-fi system on it.
Okay.
Yeah, which was Dolby cassette. Dolby cassette.
Double cassette?
No, just single. But it had the amp and it had big
Nice.
wooden speakers either side. Big, and you could sit on them. Well, we broke them because we sat on them.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
So
Memories.
overall a bit of a whinge.
Yeah, no whinge. But it ended up being happy because what you must remember is when you are getting fed up about Christmas, try and remember the Christmases of old and the past and how happy you were and try and bring that to Christmases of now. Yes. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, and yes.
Next time.
Well, we where are we? A month before, we'll see how this pans out and see if we do another one.
Exactly. We may not even come out of it alive. Who knows? I might get food poisoning or something. I might make a dodgy Christmas lunch and not make it through. In which case, it's been great doing this.
Well, we need to do a few more, and then if you release them, then I'll be sure to.
Posthumously, we can release the podcast. Then, if I dead.
You can still be alive through the medium of YouTube.
Fantastic. Pip ahead, still talking cod shit, even in death.
Yeah, even on the other side.
I love it.
So next time we're going to try and do some wind-up phone calls.
Okay.
Which I desperately wanted to do this time, but we're not set up today.
No.
And maybe interviews further on.
Wow. Okay. Brilliant. And
what do you think?
I'm up for that.
Good.
Stand by for that, folks. And you can see us on Facebook, and you can also check us out on Instagram and all that kind of thing as well, because we've got all that now. So see you soon.
Take care. Bye.